Hello and welcome back. Just welcome back. I usually say welcome back to, and then I, say something thematically appropriate. But just at this point, just welcome back. It's been a while. It's been like 5 weeks. I was supposed to be, this was supposed to be a weekly thing, and it was, and and then it wasn't. So I already kind of put up a post, but no one checks that. I did it just to feel better about myself. And basically it was just like, hey, I got COVID. I'm a lump. So I was just tired for a long time. And then even when I was less tired, I wasn't up to art making. So I finally did a thing. And it's not my most finished work. I spent about an hour on it. That was about my limit of how much time I wanted to spend on anything. And here it is. So you can see she's kind of turning towards us. It's cozy and cold and all those things. It's seasonal. I just kind of figured out I wanted, the other one to be coming down her shoulder, which was a decision. In a vacuum, I don't mind it. I do feel like I kind of, by having them come down on that shoulder, I lost the kind of, you lost the ability to kind of tell how that shoulder is coming towards us, so it looks like she just has really narrow shoulders, somewhat. But I think it still kind of comes across. Oh, you're gonna see me fuzz with the mouth. Honestly, this video does not, this is at 6 times speed of what I actually did, of how long it actually took me. And the reason is that I didn't speed up anymore. Partially it's that these kind of talky ones are supposed to be for, if you want to see more detail. Like me just messing up the mouth a million times. But also because it's been a while. And I felt kind of bad. So I figured this one shouldn't be puny, this video. So it's a little longer than it maybe needs to be. But yeah, I decided the mouth was not happening. I knew what I wanted to look like. I wanted to kind of be kind of asymmetrical and almost like a smirk. But I needed the rest of her face to place it, and even then I struggled. This is kind of what I wanted, because it's partially, some of the asymmetry is because her head's tilted kind of towards us. She's shorter than us and she's looking up. But the other part is just, she's kind of playful. She has one of her eyebrows up. I kind of made up a story in my head that she was coming into our house. Like, she'd come over to our house and we'd just let her in. And that's the first kind of look she gave us, because we were late to the door and it was cold out there. So that's kind of the story I went with, which I didn't have going in. I just kind of came up with it as I was working on her expression. I wasn't sure if I want to go with on or at for that. It's been a while since I talked and had it recorded for all posterity. Those squiggly lines was because I was wanting her to have kind of short curly hair, and then I was like, I don't know how to make it work and be cute today. Because, hey, I'm back, but I'm also still struggling. Not really from COVID. Now it's more personal problems, because things just come in waves. But I decided to kind of just give her a shaved head, very close cropped hair, because I couldn't dry hair today. I just couldn't do it. I did my best. I like her face. Initially, she was also meant to have kind of ear muffs, but I decided that would look terrible. It would look terrible, and so I didn't dry her earmuffs, and instead she was just cold. I'm sorry that she only got to have a scarf, because that's the only thing I could make cute for her. But, I hope you can't hear my cat crying. He's upset that I'm upstairs, not doting on him at this exact moment. He might also be upset that he's no longer going to be the last thing I drew. He's going to be superseded. But yeah, I futz around with her eyelashes a lot because I did want the eyelashes, but I wasn't sure what I wanted them to look like. I do think I stay with this time. I think I only do it twice, but then I have to redo some of the bottom lashes again. It's like I said, it's been 5 weeks since I drew anything. I'm out of practice. I'm rusty. Have mercy. Yeah, it was actually like 3 times on the bottom lashes. I know. I also hope you can't hear him clawing the walls because he's having a fit. That he was having a nap and we were completely separate, and he woke up and he was upset that I was not doting on him immediately. I have been down there all day. He has been in my lap. He is not neglected. He is just a handful. I then decided I don't like the detail I did in her eyes, but I keep the eyelashes. So this one, I was thinking about how finished I want it to be and what was doable for me and what I wanted to spend time on. And I decided, you know what, kind of zoomed out at this level and looking really good. That was kind of the level of detail I wanted. So, yeah, that's what we went for. I was kind of, to go with that whole she's stepping into your warm, cozy home thing, I went with this kind of really warm colors on the side that I imagined was towards the inside of the house. Like, you've stepped aside, she's just stepped through the front door. And then kind of cool tones on the other side, which is not the same thing as like light and shadow, which is actually kind of not strong in any direction, as you will see, but actually mostly a little bit more from the outside, because I kind of wasn't sure what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted this to be the shadow color and do like highlights, but I wasn't sure which direction I wanted light coming from, and I decided actually kind of outside more, because that had I was interested in that it had the deeper, darker line work, I guess. Not really line work, more sketch. But it was actually the lighter side. I was interested in that. Kind of doing things purposefully opposite of what they could be, and usually are. And then I struggled with how much I wanted to blend in the her skin, because I do it too much, and then I don't do it at all, and I do it too much again, and I undo that, and then I do what I'm mostly happy with, but then I decided that, change, I made it a little more pink here, and a little more saturated, but yeah. And because she just stepped in from the cold outside, she has a lot of blushingness, and yeah, way too much on the blurring, so I don't blur it like I had planned to, blend it in more slowly, and then I actually add a little bit of the roughness back in, which is a decision that is haunting me. I'm not sure if I like it. See, this phase, I think it was pretty good, but I decided when I was doing the blushing that I wanted to make sure that it had, it wasn't completely blended in. It was a little almost blotchier, because I wanted it to be clear that it wasn't like blush. It wasn't like makeup that was, kind of manicured and perfect. It was from the cold, so I don't blend that in. And I am still grappling with that decision. I'm not sure if I like it or not. I feel like I kind of lost a lot of the highlight on the cheek, but, I always kind of meant for the forehead to have more highlights, because it's kind of, it's higher up. She's kind of leaning her head towards us, so her forehead is out farther than her cheek and catching more light. So it makes sense. It makes sense that it would be like that, but I'm not sure. I go back and forth on that. In my mind, I don't change it again. This is the final blend on that. But then I was like, okay, how do I do her eyes? Because I kept thinking that maybe I would put, I was going to be like a star. And I was like, okay, I can't draw a star. She has hearts in her eyes. Okay. But in terms of the line art, especially around her eyes, I kept thinking okay, maybe I want to put it on multiply. Then I lost a lot of the brightness in the color, and I didn't like it. So I go back and I'm like, do I need it on multiply? I do that multiple times, and I decided no, but I do, kind of do something about the eyelashes, because they really bothered me, that she had dark eyes, and then her eyelashes are so bright. So stay tuned. here I am kind of, we're just adding like highlights to the scarf. It's very minimal shading in this one. Again, it's a sketch. It's designed to look good from a slight distance. This is what I was talking about. I kind of add some darkness just where her kind of iris is, and kind of adding only along some of the eyelashes. I actually toned this down and do like a 75% opacity in the end. And that was actually the same color as her coat. Yeah, that's it. I think she turned out cute, but like if you look too close, you'll see some things that you weren't expecting. Hope to see you next week, but if not, we won't. Bye.